If you are looking for the perfect MAC lipstick but don't have a clue where to start since they're reformulations, then this video is for you. Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Carmel and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you 10 amazing nude MAC lipsticks. And I'm really hoping that within this 10 you will find one that is perfect for you. So if that sounds like something that you might be interested in, then please do keep on watching. So I have been obsessed with MAC lipsticks for as long as I can remember, and when I found out they were reformulating their lipsticks, like many people, I freaked out. However, they've happened. So all of these 10 are from their new reformulations, from their new Macximal line and the Lustreglass line. So we are going to start with an absolute classic, and this was always my all-time fave until they changed it, and it is Velvet Teddy. So Velvet Teddy is described as a deep tone beige, and Velvet Teddy is part of the matte collection. Although these are a matte formula, these are not a drying matte formula. They're actually very, very creamy, very, very pigmented. And although they're not quite as opaque as the previous formula, I still do find that you get a really good amount of coverage with these. They're not drying, they are still really, really creamy and really, really comfortable to wear. So don't be afraid of the matte lipsticks. Velvet Teddy has always been an absolute iconic shade for MAC, and it was always my absolute favourite. However, they have significantly changed the colour, and I have videos dedicated to the changes. This video isn't dedicated to the changes. I just want to focus on the new formula. However, for those people who have used Velvet Teddy in the past, I'll just show you a quick swatch of the old Velvet Teddy so that you can see the difference. This is the old Velvet Teddy. The old Velvet Teddy, new Velvet Teddy. I feel like the new Velvet Teddy has a little bit more mauve in there than the old Velvet Teddy, and although I was really angry when they changed it, I've come around to really appreciating this shade. And also for reference, when it comes to lipsticks, it's really important to know that I have an olive undertone, so sometimes that can obviously affect how the lipstick looks. But again, that is the new Velvet Teddy. Next, we're moving on to Warm Teddy. Warm Teddy is described as a dirty warm nude, and again, it is part of the Macximal Matte collection. Obviously, as the name suggests, this is the warm version of the Teddy collection, and I think it's a super wearable shade. So I think if you find Velvet Teddy a little bit too mauvey, then this is a great option for you. I will be including comparison swatches of all of these, so don't worry. So again, that is Warm Teddy. We may as well stick with the Teddies, and next we have Cool Teddy. And Cool Teddy is described as a cool deep tone beige, and again is part of the matte collection. I feel as though with cool lipsticks that not everybody feels like they can wear them, and depending on your undertone, there's always a chance that you'll feel that a cool lipstick might wash you out. Now this does pair really nicely with Cool Spice, which is their new lip liner. I'm not going to be using lip liners today because I just want to concentrate on the lipsticks, and whatever anybody says, a lip liner can absolutely change the colour of a lipstick. For me, this is definitely one of my all-time favourite shades. I think if I had to pick from any of the Teddies, it would actually be Cool Teddy. But again, that is Cool Teddy. Now we have Signature Move, which is described as a greige, and this is from the Nude collection, which is their latest release, and the formula is Lustreglass. Lustreglass is a shiny lipstick. It's not sticky or shiny like a gloss. Honestly, I feel like I get more of a satin finish with these. I don't find them overly glossy or overly shiny. They're my favourite formula. I absolutely love them. When I first saw this shade as part of the Nude collection, I didn't think it would be very wearable, but it absolutely is. I love this. Obviously, it's a little bit deeper than if you were looking for a pinky nude. I actually think that Signature Move has become one of my absolute favorites, and not to mention how incredibly comfortable it is. These are nourishing and hydrating, absolutely beautiful formulas. I really think you would struggle to find a better formula than the Lustreglass. So yeah, that is Signature Move. Next, we are going back to the matte formulas, and the next one is Mull It to the Max. Mull It to the Max is described as a dirty peach. Is definitely one of the warmer options in this set. I think it's one of those shades that you could wear all year round because of the little peachy undertones in there. I think it's stunning for the summertime. I really, really do. And because it's part of the matte collection, it has that opacity but the creaminess at the same time. It's so incredibly comfortable. And for those of you wondering whether these are transfer proof, I don't find any of these lipsticks to be completely transfer proof. Obviously, if you're looking for something that's a bit more budge proof, then I would go for the matte collection, where they do dry down, but I don't find them completely transfer resistant, not in my experience anyway. And also, for those people wondering, there is still the vanilla scent in all of these lipsticks, so do not worry, it is still there. So again, that is beautiful Mull It to the Max. Next, we are moving on to a shade called Creme in Your Coffee, which is from the Satin lipstick collection. Creme in Your Coffee is described as a mid-tone pink brown, and this was one of the reformulations. And as you can see here, I have this in mini form, which is just so handy. So as you can see, Creme in Your Coffee is a deeper nude, and obviously deeper shades are not for everybody, but I think on medium to darker skin tones, this would be an incredible shade. It's one that was reformulated. So because it was reformulated, I'm going to show you the original. So this is the original, and I love the original, I really do. And this went from being a cream sheen formula to a satin formula. So there's the original Creme in Your Coffee, and there's the new. And you can see there's a lot more opacity in the new one, but I just loved the old cream sheen. I just found it much more wearable on an everyday basis for me and my personal preferences. But I do have to say that the satin formula on the MAC lipsticks, honestly, I don't feel like they're too dissimilar to the Lustreglass. I mean, the Lustreglass is a little bit more hydrating and lip balmy feeling, whereas the satin are so opaque. Honestly, you won't believe the coverage that you get from the satin lipsticks. I do have a dedicated video just to the satins, and honestly, you cannot beat the formula. It's absolutely gorgeous and so comfortable as well. So I still do wear the old one, but I'm really careful with it because I know that I can't get it again once it runs out. I do love this new one though, and I think there's a time and a place for it. So again, that is Creme in Your Coffee. So the next shade is, it's technically not a nude, it's more pinky, but it's just too gorgeous and too wearable not to share. And you know what? I think it can pass for a nude in my book, okay? I don't care what Max says. I feel like it's a perfect pinky nude. So this shade is Sitting Pretty. So Sitting Pretty is described as a light rose, and it is part of the Sleek Satin collection. This was a new shade that was released during the reformulations, and I think it's just stunning. And again, absolutely incredibly comfortable as well, being from the satin range. So I might be cheating a little bit, but you had to see this. It's too good to miss. So again, this is Sitting Pretty. Moving on now to Sellout from the Lustreglass collection. Sellout is described as a pinky nude with silver pearl. Sellout is actually one of the newest to my collection, and do you know, I actually thought that it would be too pink on me. And honestly, I do prefer to wear this one with a lip liner, but I think it's really, really pretty. And it's different to quite a lot of my usual collection. Usually I like to go for true nudes, kind of my lips, but a little bit better. Whereas this is definitely more on the pinky side. But when you team this with a lip liner, it looks absolutely beautiful. So this is definitely for people who enjoy that more pinky nude, but it's really, really pretty. So yes, one that doesn't get a whole lot of love, but it deserves it. So again, that is Sellout. Next, we are moving on to a very, very iconic shade, one that you will have no doubt heard of before, and it is Thanks It's Mac. Thanks It's Mac is described as a taupey pink nude with silver pearl, and it is part of the Lustreglass collection. So this is the iconic Thanks It's Mac, and you can see how much I like it by how much I've got left of it. Again, this is another cooler toned lipstick, but for me, I find that this is one of the most wearable cooler toned lipsticks, and I feel like it would be quite universally flattering. There's a reason why this shade is so incredibly popular, and not just because of the flattering nature of the shade, but because of the formula. I know I keep banging on about the Lustreglass collection, but it really is something else. It feels like a lip balm, but you get the coverage at the same time. So incredibly pretty, and it's definitely one of those lipsticks that you can put on without having to look in a mirror, and I'm not sure I can say the same for the other formulas. So yeah, Thanks It's Mac, definitely one of my favorites, and definitely one that I would recommend hand on heart. It's absolutely gorgeous. So again, that is Thanks It's Mac. We are finishing off with one of my absolute favorite out of all of these, and it is the shade Hug Me. Hug Me is described as a blushed nude and is from the Lustreglass collection. Hug Me will always make my top 10. Always. I just think it's so universally flattering. I just love everything about it. It's a lipstick that I carry everywhere with me. I absolutely adore it. I find it's that kind of shade that's appropriate for any time of year, any occasion. It's just beautiful. I do just want to say something that's really, really important, and that is that every single lipstick here, no matter what the shade, is probably going to look different on me than it is on you. And that's the beauty and also the confusion of lipsticks, that we see a lipstick on someone and we think it looks absolutely amazing. We go and buy it, we put it on, and it doesn't look the same. And that's just because we all have different undertones and we all have different skin tones. So the swatches are your best indication. And also, please don't be mad if I've not included your absolute fave nude MAC lipstick. Honestly, I have a full drawer full of MAC lipsticks. It was a very hard decision on what to pick, but these are definitely the 10 that come out on top for me. Let's take a look at the side-by-side swatches. So there we are. I hope that was helpful in deciding which nude MAC lipstick you want to reach for next. Let me know down in the comments, what is your favorite nude MAC lipstick? I would love to hear all about them. I will link all of these in the description box down below, but do let me know if you end up picking any of these up. And if you share my love for any of these lipsticks, let me know too. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I so appreciate you being here with me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next video. But until then, take care and bye for now.